Proton made a splash when they announced their password manager, Proton Pass. For better or for worse, confirming to the world they want to give you that all-in-one privacy suite. And I gotta say, given Bitwarden and KeePass are both pretty darn good options already, I went in kind of pessimistic. But with that said, I still want to treat this as a valid option that I should review and show you all what it's like and my thoughts and experience using it. Second, Proton's themes look great, but as someone who switches between light and dark theme automatically, it's silly for Proton to not have a system theme option, especially when their apps have this, opening the discussion on client consistency, which we'll cover later in the video. My final major complaint is how Proton Mail handles multiple accounts on the web. To switch between accounts, you leave the main UI to enter the account switcher, then select a different account, which is wildly inconvenient. All accounts should just be listed in one place, just copy the mobile apps. Just to knock out some logistics here, I've been using this for weeks. They gave me early access and it just was released today, Wednesday, June 28th for the public. Now the most notable thing right out the gate is Proton Pass is extension only on pretty much all desktop browsers. Now you might be screaming, well Henry, Proton Mail, Proton Drive, Proton Calendar. None of them have desktop clients and just run in your browser. But that's actually what's different here. This isn't actually a website or a web app. It's literally just the extension. I'm used to the more traditional password manager experience where you have a dedicated program. Now to describe the extension itself in one word, I'd call it bare bones. Notice I didn't say simple or minimal or one of those flashy words, as those terms imply a positive result due to limited feature set. I call Proton Pass bare bones as I feel it lacks numerous features found in pretty much every other password manager. People who saw my recent Proton review will know why I'm a little wary of relying on Proton to push out consistent updates over time to make their whole suite consistently better in a timely fashion. And to speak to Proton's specific issues, some notable missing features are, again, a central UI, passkey support, which we're now seeing in competitors, no folders, no support for credit cards, no ability to share passwords, and it's just missing a lot of nice to haves in the alternatives. And if it was any other company, I'd say those are probably coming soon, but with Proton, we don't know if this is even gonna take form in the next year.
Is this guy a retard?
So to summarize the feature set, if you just need notes and passwords and nothing else, this will be great. I'm just comparing this to already trusted and established players.
The reason I have not done anything with Bitwarden, there are two compelling reasons. The first is, I don't care if it's open source. Your master password list does not belong on the internet. Done. So KeePass XC is definitely the one you want to use. You're gonna have to deal with the inconvenience that it's not on the internet. Good, it increases your security.
On mobile, I really liked the app. It's clean and similarly bare bones, but this is, in my opinion, less of an issue on mobile, as on mobile, you have the home base, and like 90% of your interaction with your password manager on mobile is through the operating system's native autofill, which applies to local apps and anything on the web. At least on iOS, this is gonna be really solid. So this was actually fine for me, and I really didn't mind the mobile experience. Though, keep in mind, my prior complaints with limited feature set will be prominent here as well.
I am shocked! Shocked!
Well, not that shocked.
I did want to dedicate a quick segment to the general privacy and security of Proton Pass. It's open source, end-to-end encrypted, and it's definitely going to be reasonably private and secure. You can read their entire article covering the security model, which deep dives into the technical bits. All I'll say is this is, for most people, reasonably private and secure, but it's also nothing special. If you're comparing Proton Pass to LastPass, then yeah, I'd recommend Proton Pass, but if we're comparing Proton Pass to the other staples in the privacy and security community, I just don't really know what's being offered here. But even with all this positivity I have to share with their integration, and while it's super neat, it's still not something that isn't found in Bitwarden. So, who is this for? I really sat down and I was like, okay, what is unique here and what sets this apart from the competition? And I think there is one group of people, as of today when I'm making this video, who I think will love this. And it's people who want to be and are all in on the Proton ecosystem. What being in the Proton ecosystem means now is for just one monthly subscription, you can now have access to unlimited simple login premium aliases, a lot of cloud storage, and now a password manager, all part of the same suite, and the password manager directly integrates with simple login. So instead of paying, for example, a Tutanota subscription, then a simple login subscription, and then a Bitwarden subscription, you just get it all under one roof, which for the record is both a pro and a con depending on who you're talking to. Personally, I can see how convenient this is, and I'm happy to just see a privacy respecting suite that Proton is trying to build. And I think it's a necessary offering for our community. But I also believe Proton's just not going to be able to compete well individually with these services. In the past, Proton has had the luxury of only offering services with privacy that no one else really competed with. Like Proton Mail really outshined all of the competition in the privacy space, as did Proton Calendar. But now that Proton is entering markets like drive storage and password management, their approach to just roll out half-baked software isn't going to cut it. It's not Proton Mail versus Tutanota, it's now Proton Pass versus Bitwarden 1Password KeePass, three dominant, established players who already kick ass, and Proton Pass does not compete against them. So where I'm going with this is, I think Proton needs to release services that are, at minimum, competing with other services in their bracket to sell the whole suite, or else people are going to think that they're compromising by entering the Proton suite. To put that cleanly, I think the whole selling point of a suite is still largely dependent on Proton being able to actually compete with other people in each respective product.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
This is now available to the public, so you all can use this and give it a shot, and definitely leave all your feedback down below. I want to thank Proton for giving me early access to the Proton Pass. I would have liked to know when it was going to be released, so I would know when I could make content and not be embargoed anymore, but I guess I'm just happy to see it released somewhat timely, so I can't complain too much there, but a little heads up would have been nice.